Hey, y'all. Glad to be back. Let's make sure that my audio sounds good. But welcome to the Welcome Back show for Bigfoot Encounters call-in show from Bigfoot Society. I want to make sure that the audio is working before I get into it, so someone in the chat could let me know that they can hear me, it'd be much appreciated. Let's hope so. We are live, and the live stream on YouTube plagued with technical issues. Yes, okay, Slaya, we are good. Does that mean audio is good? All right, cool. Let's get into it all. I am glad that, man, we are rocking and rolling. We got 65 people here, half on Twitter X, half on YouTube, which is pretty cool. First in the show, we're going to do a roll call before we get into it. We got Brian here checking in early at 8:01 p.m. We got I Hear You from Southern Indiana. Good to see you. We got Jackie Barnes. Good to see you, Jackie. YouTube channel member, also a Patreon member as well. Yeah, evening all. Good to see you, Jackie. Ruptured Duck, hello. We got Darren Franks TV, hello. Jeremiah, hello, chat. And we got old friend Slaya tuning in from Central Washington, Pacific Northwest, baby. What's up? Thanks for being a YouTube channel member and a Patreon member. And we got to, we all got to hang out at Sasquatch Summerfest. Edja is here. Hello from Northern Illinois. Good to see you. We got good friend Bushranger. Hey, all, out in the Daniel Boone, and I got the alert. Can't miss it. He's into some wild stuff out there right now out in the woods. Can't wait to hear what happens to him tonight. Hopefully, there's nothing up in that cave that's not too far away from his campsite. I've been watching his TikToks. Hey, we got Mark Paul here. Good to see you, Mark. Thank you also for being a YouTube channel member. Good to see you, Mark. Let's see. We got Amanda here. Good to see you. We got Dawn from Hamburg, Pennsylvania. We got Saj from Cheers from Saskatchewan. Wow. And we got Delroy here. Good to see you all. All right. Well, we are rocking and rolling. For those that are new, this is a live show I used to do on Saturday nights at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube, but I also push it out to other places like Twitter, X, and I think where's the other place? Facebook. So this is a live call-in show. If you have a Bigfoot encounter or if you've seen a Bigfoot and you would like to share that live with everyone watching, and also this is recorded for the podcast. So the tricky thing is that you want to make sure that in order to call on in, you need to fill out the guest release form first. You can go to bit.ly/Bigfoot form and then give this number a call here, 515-809-0165. And we'll see who we got calling in. Let's see. We got Dan Doggett. Good to see you, Dan. Hello, first show I'm seeing from Georgia. Oh, glad you're here. We got Larry. Thanks for being a YouTube channel member. Good to see you, Larry. We got Wilfred. Live call-ins are the best. Absolutely. I think so. I've been having a good time over on TikTok, guys. TikTok's wild because there's a lot of people over there that have never shared their encounters. If you're not following Bigfoot Society over on TikTok, I know a lot of people are like, well, it's a terrible platform. Well, guys, sometimes you just got to do it. It's bigfoot.society if you want to check it out. While we are waiting, we do want to cover, just to make sure everyone's on the same page, guys, the Oklahoma Bigfoot video is a hoax. And it's not a malicious hoax. Well, it depends how you would look at that as a... So here's the thing. It's from Lawton, Oklahoma. It's obvious, guys, that it is a... Maybe I can play it, actually. I wonder if I can play it so you can... Let's see. I'm going to try to share this on my screen. It probably won't have sound, but let's see what I'm talking about here. Let's see. Hold on. All right, this guy right here, guys. Have you seen this one? You will. It's starting to be picked up by all the major TV platforms. So that one, if you can look at the face, and you can find this on a lot of different places. It was on Fox News, I believe, earlier. It's the Jack Lynx Sasquatch costume you can get off Amazon. And also, what is that? Oh, I need to get that out of there. It's making noise. Also, this was made by a alternative gardening shop, shall we say, in Lawton, Oklahoma. They came out, made a video about it. So yeah, not true, guys, but someday we'll get there, right? All right, let's see. Yeah, Brian says Oklahoma looks like Jack Lynx. Absolutely. Let's see. Hey, Rocky Toppin is here. Good to see you. Bush Ranger saying, yeah, we have heaps of activity tonight. Oh my goodness. In the Patreon, Bush Ranger's in the Patreon, which is put on screen, patreon.com/Bigfoot Society. We got a fun little group going on in there. And he's been sharing some wild photos of what's been going on around his property. And you might remember him from calling in when we were last doing the show. But he's over in the Daniel Boone National Forest right now in a pretty squatchy area. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's see. We got over 100 people in here. Over 60, about 60 on YouTube, 38 on Twitter X. Let's, what? Whoa, what is this? Little One Nair says, good evening, Jeremiah. I'm going to email you about the Aurora baby crying evening. Thanks for the invite to the FB broadcast channel. Absolutely. Possible Aurora night in the UP. Whoa, so you're experiencing a baby crying in your area? Baby crying noise? Whoa. Yikes. Mark Paul says, Jeremiah, we still have activity every day, old buddy. Wink. I am aware of that, my friend. Jackie's saying, hey, the Owl Moon Lab Wilderness was awesome. Some sounds, but I got to meet Jeff and Alicia and Pam. That's awesome. Yeah, Jackie, if you want to, you sure can. Guys, if you're not aware, if you heard the Daryl Adams interview I did on Bigfoot Society, he is doing expeditions to the Owl Moon Wilderness with Tobe Johnson, I believe. I think Tobe's involved, maybe not. If only someone could call in. Oh, okay. Jackie, that's fine. If you're on the clock with residents, definitely don't do it. We'll get you another time. But they had some very interesting things. Hey, Pablo's here. Hey, Pablo. Wow, glad I found you guys. Love it. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, Tobe was there as well. Okay, cool. Good stuff. Let's see. I think, here's another thing let me bring it up. I won't be able to share this on screen because of the way Chrome is set up, but let's see what else. Matt Moneymaker, about 4 days ago, he shared a very recent sighting that was from 5 days ago in southern Alabama, Butler and Conecuh County. 2 eyewitnesses within 50 feet had a Class A sighting 60 miles southwest of Montgomery, Alabama. They were driving south on Interstate 65 when they spotted a tall Sasquatch walking along the edge of the trees bordering the highway. The spot was roughly 1 mile northeast of exit 107. Crazy stuff. So if you're in the Alabama area, southern Alabama, keep your eyes out. Okay, so Tobe's a part of it, but he wasn't there this time. That makes sense, Jackie. Absolutely. Oh, we had Olympic Strange Days that happened up there in the Olympic Peninsula, and I heard from a lot of people that was a fantastic time as well. A lot of stuff. Mark Paul is saying, hey, everyone, Songbird audio box with 2 microphones is the way to go if you're interested in catching the sounds they make. Well, there you go. Thanks for the heads up, Mark. I have actually been looking into that brand as well. I know they're recommended by more than a few researchers. I believe Chris Spencer was the one that told me about them. I think if you're looking for the actual brand name, it's Wildlife Acoustics. I can show you right here what we're talking about. Put this on stage here. Here we go. So, products. I believe you're probably talking about maybe one of these guys on the left here. Oh, I got to put on. Here we go, Mark. So, are you talking about that two right there? The song meter, probably? Songbird. Got it. Okay. Let's see. Let's get. Big B says there's been sightings of Bigfoot in the Connecticut mountains. Ooh, tell me more. Tell me what area you're talking about, because I've heard of a few different places there. Jackie says Priscilla and her little granddaughter were with us also. Absolutely. Let's see. We got Hike with Mike's in the house. Hello from the land of the skunk ape. Good to see you, Mike. Leah, hello, watching from Houston, Texas. Guys, we are blowing up. We already have 125. Glad that you are all here. We got Memphis Song with the green checks. Always good to see those green checks. Sarah Ramos, giving the heart. Good to see everyone. We're hanging out. We're getting all caught up. Guys, let me know, what are your plans for 2025 when it comes to Bigfoot? What are your festival plans, your conference plans? Are you going out and doing some expeditions? Let me know in the comments. We'll shout some out here. Space is here. Hello from Hermantown, Minnesota. Good to see you. Mark says the ones pictured only have one mic. Get the one with two. Absolutely. I will do that, my friend, because I know that you've got. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that, my friend. Next year, I believe I've already mentioned this, but I don't know if I've mentioned it in here. The plans so far, I've got a few plans. So I plan to go back to Oak Ridge, Oregon in early July for Sasquatch Summerfest 2. I plan on going to the Nebraska Bigfoot Conference in Grand Island, Nebraska, end of April. I also, hopefully, fingers crossed, if I can get it to work, a year from this weekend, I'll be in Oklahoma in Honubby for that big Bigfoot conference down there. And then maybe doing some other stuff too. So cross your fingers I can get into that, guys. Gila, I know I said that wrong. I'm sorry. Going to the Yakima, Washington conference to meet Bob Gimlin at the end of the month. Awesome. That's great. Have a great time. Let us know what it's like to meet Bob. That would be so cool. Jackie, oh yeah, Sasquatch Summerfest 2025 again for sure. Absolutely. It was so fun the first time. Brian says, I'm going to Summerfest 2025 for sure. Yeah, you are. You got to check it out. It was such a crazy time last year. And the stories keep coming from it too. It's just wild. I have more interviews coming for that. There's one episode that is just a massive undertaking. It's going to have multiple people in it about what they experienced at a certain place during that week. It's a huge undertaking, but it's going to be a big I'm not sure about that. I remember seeing that on TikTok quite a while ago. I'm not sure if, I don't know. I think there's probably more going on than we know. Let's see. Paul says, everything is great here in Louisiana. I hope to hear from you personally. I wanted to track down something in one of your videos. Keep them coming. All right, Paul. Most definitely. I will try to, let's see. Ancient Sentient. What have people calling in said about the Washington National Forest in Arkansas? Well, I'll tell you, if people call in or if I talk to people for the podcast, it's usually the Washington National Forest in southeast Oklahoma. I don't know if I've talked to a lot of people about Washita in Arkansas side. I know I've talked to people about northwest corner of Arkansas, like the Buffalo River. I have a pretty good interview. Let's see about that. All right, Slaya. Let's see what Slaya is up to. Going to Yakima this month. Ocean Shores in November. Nice. Squatch Fest. I think that's in Kelso, Washington, January. And of course, Oak Ridge in July. That's right. You cannot miss Oak Ridge. That was very fun hanging out with you guys last year. That was great. Big B says Pacific Northwest is a perfect place for Bigfoot to hide at. Lots of hills and mountains out there away from the city. That's true. Sometimes even kind of close to the city. Guys, just a reminder of what we got going on today. Actually, let me put this back on the screen. We are doing a live call-in show like we used to do. If you've got a Bigfoot encounter or Bigfoot sighting that you've had and you want to share it live on the show, and we'll be going until 9:30 Central Standard Time. Feel free to first fill out the guest release form because this will be live and also recorded for the podcast. And then after feel free to call in the number 515-809-0165. And then we can talk. Let's see. Hike with Mike. I never knew how to properly pronounce Washita. Thanks. I didn't either. And then I got told by a lot of people that I was saying it wrong. So I learned pretty quick. Mark says, I catch everything from Bigfoot throwing boulders, urinating, peeing, screaming, trees being pushed down, limb breaks, gibberish in a deep voice, rock clacks, wood knocks, thumps. Holy mackerel, Mark. You are definitely in the thick of it, my friend. And you know that. You've been in the thick of it for 20 years. Kimberly, good to see you. Yeah, Jackie, you definitely need to get Slaya out to the Owl Moon Lab Wilderness. That would be a wild trip. She would love it. I just have a feeling she would love it. 28 years. Wow. That's wild, Mark. So Gila looks like is heading to all those conventions as well. Awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, I know. Okay, hold on. Actually, let me take this on the screen. I need to shout out a video I watched today that you guys would love. I just need to show it. We're not going to watch it, but I want you to be aware. Where is it? Salish.
In 2006.
Nope, that's not it. Here it is. Okay, I'm going to put this on the screen. All right. If you're not familiar with the channel Salish Sasquatch, which is Jonathan Brown and his wife's channel, this one right here, Central Washington Bigfoot Encounters, is a brand new, as of today, it's an hour of awesome Bigfoot encounters that they recorded from researchers at this gathering that happened in Bumping Lake area, I believe. So definitely check that out. It is worth it. Oh, that's cool to know. So, Brian was asking Jackie if the Owl Moon Lab is private property or national park. Ruh-roh. It's public land. right. Well, we had a first call, but there was they hung up. So we'll see if they call back. Let's see. Jennifer's here. Good evening, my lovelies. Good to see you. We got Miss K is here. Hello. Mark says, glad you let us know that the red Bigfoot was a fake. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I try to let you guys know whenever there's anything like that. Hey, Jeff Rone is here. Good to see you, Jeff. Thanks for being here. I'll be speaking at the Baker City Conference in 2 weeks. That's in Oregon, I believe. There's going to be the Flash of Beauty guys are going to be there, right? The kid says, Jeremiah, the best in the biz. Hey, thanks for the kind words. I just try to talk to people about Bigfoot, and but I appreciate that. Good stuff. Good stuff. Man, we are rocking and rolling. We're 134. People are just waiting for that first call. You know what, guys, if you want to call in and share about I don't know, maybe a recent outing of some sort, feel free to do it. Totally up to you though. And if you got a Bigfoot sighting or an encounter, you can feel free to call in too. Let's see what we got. Laura, sorry I'm late. No problem. Better late than never. Good to see you here as always, Laura. Mark Paul is saying thermal AGM is the way to go. A lot of people say that. Actually, good call. Jennifer, I'm too shy to call in. Sorry, no problem. Jennifer, you can always give me a call at bigfootsociety@gmail.com if you want to share what happened that way, and then we can have a conversation that way. Let's see. Brian is asking if he could camp in his van at the Owl Moon Wilderness. Jeff says yes. Very cool. Yep, AGM is a monocular. Let me see if I can find it on Amazon. I know it's good quality, and it's not too expensive. And a lot of researchers that I know use it. Here we go. Let me put this up on the screen. Gonna bring it up first. Here we go. It's this guy right here, I believe. Mark, this is the one most guys share with me, but let me know if this is the one you're talking about too. AGM Global Vision Monocular. Compared to FLIR's, it's way less expensive. I mean, right now you can get it for $329, which is actually pretty solid. I mean, normal cost is $439. Crazy stuff. So, all right, Mark is saying that's it. Good stuff, Mark. Thanks. We got some. I'm gonna go ahead, and while we're waiting to see if we got some people calling in, I am gonna give you guys a little sneak peek as to what you can expect coming up soon. Let's see. Oh yeah. There is an episode coming out in 2 days with a gentleman named Lynn Gaspire. And it is absolutely insane. It's in Lake Cushman area. It is the wildest encounter story I've heard in a long time. So do not miss that one. I was introduced to Lynn by Tom Cantrell's book, Sasquatch Face to Face, I believe is what it's called. And found him on Facebook and asked him to come on the show, and he agreed. So let's see. Okay, Paul, I see your message. Thank you. Big B says, Hey, I heard an encounter recently. They blew my mind. The guy is not a Bigfooter and didn't believe he had an up close and personal encounter. Whoa, really? Brian, where's that at? Or is this a guy you know personally, or is this something you saw on the internet somewhere? Big B says northwestern part of Connecticut is where sightings was reported a Bigfoot by the residents in the Torrington part of Connecticut. I know where Torrington is. Absolutely. Yes, Leia. Lake Cushman in Washington State. Absolutely. Lake Cushman is a hot spot. A lot of people know about it now, but I've talked to many people that have had crazy stuff happen there. Jennifer says, it's fascinating to me how people who have seen or experienced Sasquatch become obsessed. Yeah, it really is, especially if you have, you get that first, like, really, I mean, even, it doesn't even have to be a visual. It can be like a audio type deal. Someone just tried to call in, and they called in. I think there was an issue. If they could try to call back, that would be awesome. If you want to share something, yeah, it'd be good times. So feel free to give a call back. Okay, Brian's going to direct me to the individual. Yes, thank you, Brian. Awesome. Yeah, Jackie. Okay, Jackie says, yeah, listen to Lynn's interview earlier today. That was fascinating. Yeah, it really was. This is crazy stuff. I'm gonna have him on again too. We could talk for. He says he has about 11 more encounters to go through. The guy is wild. So, Galen, sup, Jer Bear? Hey, what's up, friend? John Boy, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm glad you're here. Thank you also for being a YouTube channel member. If you wanna support the channel, guys, there's a few ways you can do it, and this is how you can watch. You can watch episodes early before everyone else does. You can click the join button on the YouTube channel. You can also go to patreon.com/the Bigfoot Society, and you can join the community there. It's a little bit tighter net, definitely, because we got chats over there. People are showing photos around their property. There's all sorts of like Bigfoot evidence photos. It's actually really cool what it's turning into. So, Jeff, dude, I would love to talk to you. And yeah, if you want to share about Olympic Strange Days, I mean, I'm not going to say no. So go right ahead, my friend. Let's see. We got Vidplex. Hey, all, South Oregon here. Dude, that's where all the crazy stuff is. Mark, I did get in touch with Greg. I talked to him. Yeah, he hooked me up with that, and that was a wild, wild sound. Hey, Jeff. Jeff, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, perfect. How are you doing, man?
Great. How are you guys?
Awesome. Let's make sure that I have my stuff set up. If someone in the comments could let me know if they hear Jeff, please. Since this is the... Okay, perfect. We are good. All right, dude. So Olympic Strange Days, how is it going?
It was a blast. It was one of the best outings I've ever had. Toe really went over the top on this, and it was just a great time. A lot of really people.
It's a small. It's like an intimate group, right?
Yeah, I think there was 25 to 30 people total the whole time.
That's awesome. What kind of things did you guys do up there?
Well, Alicia and I got there Wednesday night, and the day before that, a guy named Jason and Barb Shoop were there securing the area. And so we had a nice little intimate time Wednesday night. And then Thursday night, like a tornado swept through.
Whoa.
And where we were was kind of up on a little hill, 5,000 mountain. I think it was Jefferson Mountain off in the distance. So all the airflow just funneled right through our camp. And so Thursday night, we were just holding down tents or retrieving tents, and there were all kinds of bent canopies and torn apart canopies and stuff. It was a rescue mission the Thursday night. And but in the meantime, a group of people went down to Lake, I think it was Elk Lake, a couple miles one way, and they didn't get back till like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. By the time they got back, the wind was gone, and they said that they had no wind where they were, but right the little spot we were, it was like a freaking tornado alley. It was crazy.
Oh, wow.
But well, I'll go back to the first night that I was there, which was Wednesday. Alicia and I got there just after the rain had stopped. It rained the whole way rained the whole time that we drove from Roseburg, Eugene area all the way up there. And when we got there about 6 p.m., we set up camp. And so we're sitting there with Jason and Herb, and they had a little bathroom tent area where they dug a hole so you can use the bathroom and, shovel some dirt on top or whatever after you go. I saw to the right, I saw some motion going from my right to my left, back to my right, and back to my left. And it wasn't smoke from the fire. It wasn't anything else. I really didn't know what it was. I didn't say anything to anybody. And then I think the next day or two, when more people showed up, we were sitting around the campfire, and Barb was asking people, has anybody seen anything weird? And one lady said that she saw something that looked like a dark shadow move across back and forth like the size of a door. And then that kind of like was somewhat what I thought I saw.
Wow.
And then another couple ladies that came down below us said they saw a green light floating, and that couldn't be, nobody could really verify it, but they swear they saw this green light hovering kind of by their I think they were in a camp trailer. And then there really wasn't a lot of paranormal stuff that happened, but just a couple weird things. And the other weird thing was this one couple had a Jackery 1500 battery operated generator, battery generator. And they were making coffee with their Keurig, and they made like 3 or 4 cups of coffee, and it went from 70 to 0.
What?
Which there's no way that was going to happen. And then I had a EcoFlow Delta Pro 3600 watt battery generator, and the first night I had it out, or the second night actually, it was like at 70%, and then the next morning it had turned off during the night at some point because I was running my 12-volt refrigerator with it, little camping fridge thing, and it would not turn on the next morning. Somehow it turned off in the middle of the night. I could not get it to turn on until like in the middle of the day.
Oh my goodness.
But other than that, yeah. So, you always hear about, batteries failing and that kind of stuff. So we did have a little bit of that going on. Also, another cool thing, I don't know if it was human footprints or Bigfoot footprints or little Bigfoot footprints, but we went to Elk Lake, which was a walking distance from the camp. And Alicia and I we walked way around the entire lake, and it was pretty low. Wasn't very full, but you had to walk through a lot of mud and stuff. But there were little footprints, and I would say 5 or 6 year old size footprints for humans, and then like maybe mom size footprints, barefoot footprints, all over the lake. And it's a kind of a clay, muddy shore, but they were everywhere. There were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of prints.
Whoa!
And so Tobe took a group of us out. Might have been Friday, and we had some hydrocal, and he showed us how to make track prints with hydrocal. And the weird thing is that some of these prints that were maybe a size 4 or 5 kid print, it was like 4 to 5 feet in between each step in this clay mud. But if they were like regular kids, they would be like, a foot or two, from one step to the other. Alicia tried to, stretch her legs out and her feet out to cover the whole stretch of those tracks. She couldn't do it, and I could barely do it. So I don't know if they were juvenile footprints or just human prints. I don't know. The jury's still out with me on that.
Absolutely. So how far out was this area you guys were camping, and did it take a while to get there, or?
Well, if you go to Hoodsport, Washington, which is in the Olympic Peninsula area, it wasn't that far out after that. So there's a chance that a lot of, families could have been on that lake at the time. But the day that we showed up on Wednesday, it had poured down rain the whole day up until the time we got there. So whatever left those tracks probably had to do it the next morning, because where the toes were dug into the mud or the clay, you could see the little lines in between the toes, or the you know what I'm talking about. Well, they would have been completely washed out if it would have been before that.
Right.
So who in the world would be up there Thursday morning to run around that lake entirely and make hundreds and hundreds of prints?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I could be completely wrong. I don't know, but every time I try to think, every time Alicia and I were talking, like, well, yeah, I guess it could have been, a family out here running around. And then it's like, well, wait a minute, though. Who in the hell is going to let their kid run around in 55-degree weather,
right,
pouring down rain around this entire lake? And you had to walk through stuff that you don't want your kids walking through there. You got to climb over logs and go around stuff and step on stuff. And everyone was barefoot. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know.
It's definitely weird. It sounded like it was a really cool thing, because you guys were pretty much being taught how to do different things like track casting, but also, just all sorts of different things, which is very cool. And then just interactions you're able to get with different people that were there. And it sounds like an awesome time. I think I heard it's going to happen next year too. So, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a fun event. I haven't been to that many conferences and stuff, but this was great because it was out in the field. Had some good speakers. Simeon Hine was there.
Oh, yep.
We kind of studied remote viewing a little bit, went through a couple of classes on how to try to do it. It was fun. There was another gal there, and I can't remember her name. She and her husband were there. They're from, I think, the Macaw tribe. And she explained a little bit about what she knows about cloaking. And her explanation made the most sense to me. I need to listen to her again to solidify it in my brain so I can describe it. But she basically was saying that the Sasquatch people will just change your perspective on what you're actually seeing, rather than like some weird cloaking, crazy stuff. They were just changing your perspective, which is still kind of, out there too. But, I hate to bring it up because can't remember exactly what she said, but I was completely intrigued. This woman should have spoke for hours about her experiences. So I'll have to get back to you and let you know who she was. Maybe we can look her up on YouTube.
Yeah, I was just going to ask if you come across her name, I'd love to see if I could find anything from her on the internet,
yeah,
like YouTube or whatever. It sounds really interesting.
Contact Alicia. She'll give
right,
you the info.
Yeah, she knows. All right, that sounds good. Oh, Jeff, well, thanks for giving a report about Olympic Strange Days. I was actually talking to a guy about Lake Cushman the other day in an interview, and at the end, he was like, "Oh, I was there was like an after party for Olympic Strange Days, and he ended up going to it." And he was like, "Yeah, I got to meet Tobe and Ron Moorhead," and he was like, "It was awesome." So that was kind of funny, but
Wama Wama, or whatever that little town was. Yeah, we had to get home, so we couldn't stop for that. But we had a long drive. But yeah, that's cool. Cool, man.
Good stuff. Well, Jeff, thank you for calling in. I appreciate it. And
all right, brother. Anytime.
We'll talk to you later, man.
All right, later.
All right, good stuff. Always good to talk to Jeff Rone. Let's get caught up. I had some interesting. Let's see. We got Pete Peterson, YouTube channel member. Good evening, Jeremiah. Thank you for the letter and the package. Enjoying your show from my camp in Toledo Bend, Louisiana. Yeah, definitely. Pete is in the Patreon as well. So in the Patreon, after 3 months, I send like a welcome package with like a membership card and stuff. So that's what he's referring to. Thank you. This is an interesting comment off of Facebook. Radio Pentecostals. We just had some action last night in North Georgia at Three Forks Chattahoochee National Forest. Has probably 3 of them around our camp. Could definitely smell them and hear them whistling and making some rock clacking and making a stir loud screaming sound, and could hear them walking close to our tent after we laid down. I've seen them close in Alabama years back, had a Class A daylight sighting up close, and had many other encounters throughout the years there in Chilton County, Alabama. That's wild. Radio, you're always welcome to call in if you want, or you can send me an email at bigfootsociety@gmail.com. I would love to talk to you. Here we go. Let's see. Anonymous says, my game cam picked up a Sasquatch drinking from my water trough, South Texas, 325 acres of landing cattle and mesquites. Wow. You can definitely reach out to me if you'd like to share more about that, Anonymous. Let's see. Checking. Tons of comments coming in. Let's see. Juan says, my daughter and I experienced 2 orange basketball-sized orbs that floated above us. We felt like they were looking at us, and they flew off with lightning speed and no sound. Wow. That's crazy. Wild stuff. Believe it or not, it's almost to the end of our hour. It's so last call, guys. If you're wanting to call in and to share what you've experienced, you can call in. It's 515-809-0165. Just checking the email real quick. So make sure you fill out the guest release form. After this, I am going to probably go over to TikTok, do a live over there, hang out with those crazy guys over there. Okay, check email. I just sent pictures. All right. I will. Oh, here we go. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I will check that out. Radio, let's see. Let me put it on the screen. It's right there. Bigfoot Society at gmail.com, my friend. while we're waiting, guys, if you've never listened to Bigfoot Society, you can listen on YouTube. You can listen on anywhere you listen to podcasts. And I have episodes really come out every day. So check it out. Big B asked the question that everyone asks. Have you ever had encounter experience with Bigfoot? Well, I can talk about that for a minute. So going back a few years ago, I went out to a undisclosed area in Iowa with my good friend Tate Hieronymus. And we had some weird stuff happen. We had a tree get pushed over by our campsite. We had wood knocks. I recorded sound of a zipper, tent zipper, and wood knocks in the morning. The next year, I heard whoops from my tent at 3 a.m. in the same area. I went out to Oregon for Sasquatch Summerfest, was able to go out in the woods with some locals there. Way out in the woods. We had some wild stuff happen there. We got roared at. We got roared/screamed at. That was very life-changing. Also, a film crew from Searching for Sasquatch had left some fruit up in a pine tree, an apple, an orange, a banana, and the apple and the orange the next day were on the ground. The banana was on the ground, and it was peeled and eaten. So that was very, very interesting to me. That really blew my mind. I did not have any visual out there, but I missed having a visual by about 5 hours because if I had gone in earlier, my plane had been earlier by a day, I would have been up at the campsite and I would have been with the group when they saw one at the edge of the meadow jump out of a pine tree and run away. Now, I myself, I did find some, I found a footprint in that same area where it jumped out of the tree. That was really cool. That was the first actual, the first actual footprint that I've found that it was without a doubt. And it was actually checked out by an individual in the community that is highly respected, let's say. Let's see. Paul, in anyone's opinion, what's a good beginners conference to go to? I would say, Paul, actually, what state are you in? Really go to the one that's closest, Start with there, start making some connections. But let's see, Paul is, I want to say, wasn't it Louisiana? Okay, Jackie says there were some weavings of branches up at Owl Moon Lab Wilderness. Crazy. Mark said, yeah, your son was Holland. That's right. Actually, you're right, Mark. I did get way closer. I mean, it was got pretty close then too. Yeah, you're right, Mark. Even though he says he didn't, I'm pretty sure he probably did. He's just, I don't know. We'll see what he says when he's older. Jeff says, here were 3 tracks at Owl Moon this past Tuesday. Whoa, snap, dude. Louisiana. I'm trying to remember if there's any. There's a Bigfoot conference in Jefferson, Texas. That's pretty good. I'm trying to remember if Louisiana has one. Oh, there was the Nacogdoches, which I said wrong. Louisiana Bigfoot Festival. That was in September. So there's one. Maybe check that one out next year. Yes, one guy made a cast. They were at least 15 inches. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Crazy. Anonymous says, South Texas Sasquatch hunters came out to my ranch. Whoa, that's wild. Okay, let's see. Jeff just sent me. Oh, snap. That's pretty wild, Jeff. Brian says, is there really a Bigfoot for Dummies? No, there's not. What would be a good book to hold on. This one. If you need a good intro book to Bigfoot and that's easy to read, get The Essential Guide to Bigfoot by Ken Gerhardt. It's really good. Definitely a great place to start if you don't know. Ooh, he's got okay. BFRO 26886. Okay. Let's read radios. Yes, Henry really passed away, unfortunately. Okay, so radio's encounter was reported to the BFRO. Let's check it out. This is from November 11th, 2009. Happened May 13th, 2000. I was riding my four-wheeler around 11 a.m. when I came up over a hill by my house on some gas lines. I saw a hairy creature standing about 7.5 to 8 feet tall, staring back at me. It scared me so I revved up the motor and turned the ATV around. Looking back at the creature, as I topped the hill, I came to a stop. As I watched the animal, it seemed to be very calm as it turned and stepped off into the woods, as it wasn't a bit curious of me being there. That was the first encounter I had with this creature. One of the other encounters I had was this year. Me and my friend from my church went to my land and found ourselves being chased off the back porch of my house by a very large animal about 1:30 in the morning. I'm sure it was the same animal I've seen years before. At least 5 other incidents. Radio Pentecost, I'm going to invite you onto the podcast. If you want to reach out to me, Bigfoot Society Bigfoot Society at gmail.com. I would love to interview you for the show if you're up for that. We can talk more about that off air. Yes, Tobe Johnson, Owl Moon Lab is a great, great book. Definitely. Drag Bike 900, great show. Boston, Massachusetts. I'm hooked. Great host, great contact. Thank you so much. I was born in Western Mass myself. Drag bike. I grew up in Northfield, Mass. So a lot of Bigfoot action out there in the western part of the state. Jackie, I would have loved to meet Henry. I know that's a huge regret I always have, is not being able to meet him in person. Yes, Henry was spot on with his observations. Absolutely. Bobby, good to see you. Always good to see you. Yeah, he received a promotion. Absolutely, Jackie. Guys, we have about 5 minutes left. Had a good catch up, and thanks to Jeff for calling in. And if you are on TikTok, go ahead and jump over there, and I'll see you in the live. We'll see if we can stir up some accounts over on the TikTok platform. Make sure you're following Bigfoot.Society over there. And if TikTok's not your thing, you might hear some of the accounts on the podcast. Yeah, Mark, I think the time for that conversation will happen eventually. Right now, I'm trying to raise awareness for, I was just talking to Harley, Eastern Tennessee and Western North Carolina, they're in a lot of trouble. So however we can help out, we need to help out. And I mean, that conversation, Mark, will probably happen eventually, but tell you the truth, I'm not putting it out there. If someone contacts me with, like, I saw something while we were doing rescue, I will talk to them. But yeah, it's a good question. It really is, Mark. I've gotten it a few times on different platforms. But guys, we're going to go ahead and shut it down. I appreciate you all being here. 165 watching live. Good stuff. Make sure that you hit the bell and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next one. And guys, we will see you next week. Have a good one all.